One of the things I find fascinating about the post resurrection appearances of Jesus is how often people don't seem to recognize him. It seems like there's something in their way that's keeping them from recognizing Jesus. Even though he's right there in plain sight, they don't recognize it as him. Let me give you an example. Let's start in John chapter 20. In John chapter 20, Jesus is resurrected. Mary goes to the tomb. In John 20, verse 1, she sees that the stone is rolled away. She goes back. She tells the disciples, Peter and John go check it out with Mary there. They go into the tomb, realize that Jesus isn't there. They leave. Mary is left there. And Peter and John have just abandoned Mary Magdalene there, apparently. And Mary is at the tomb and she's got tears in her eyes because something has happened. And she looks inside the tomb again. She sees a couple of people clothed in white sitting there. And they ask her, why are you weeping? And she responds and she turns around and she sees Jesus. Now, she doesn't recognize it as Jesus. She thinks it's the gardener. And he says, woman, why are you crying? And she says, sir, if you have taken my Lord, just tell me where it is and everything will be fine. Just tell me where you've taken him. And Jesus, she doesn't recognize it as Jesus. And let's give her a little bit of a pass here, right? She's been crying. Eyes might be watery. It might be a little hard. But nevertheless, Jesus is standing right there in front of her. And she doesn't recognize Jesus by the look of him. She doesn't recognize him when he says, woman, why are you crying? But then Jesus says, Mary. And the way he says Mary, she immediately recognizes it as Jesus. And she grabs hold of him. She cries out, teacher, or Adonai, or rabbi, and grabs hold of him. And Jesus says, you can't hold on to me. I have things that I need to go do. Go talk to the disciples. Let them know I'm back and you have seen me. And so she does. But what strikes me about that is she doesn't recognize Jesus right away until he says her name. And there is a picture here of intimacy and connection and communion. And I wonder sometimes how often we don't see Jesus, even when he's right in front of us. What is it that could trigger us to recognize Jesus? And I think the question it raises for us, if we're going to be like Mary, do we have that type of connection, communion that comes from that time together, that intimate conversation with Jesus, so that when he speaks our name, we immediately recognize who he is? And if not, what can we do to grow our times of intimacy and connection with Jesus?